Welcome to the lesson R.7 on Gustar verbs in Spanish. There are many verbs that follow a similar pattern to the verb gustar, so they're all termed Gustar verbs. Basically, these verbs only have two conjugated forms. They can conjugate into the el ella or the ellos ellas, and the choice between those two conjugations is based on the perceived direct object. An indirect object pronoun is also required with each of these verbs, and it must go before the conjugation. To choose the correct indirect object pronoun, you need to base that on the perceived subject. So let's look at a gustar sentence. A todos mis amigos les gusta la música de rock. So to determine our conjugation, we have to look at the perceived direct object. What is liked? Well, that would be rock music. That is singular, so we pick the el ella conjugation, gusta. Now to figure out what indirect object pronoun we need before gusta, we have to look at the perceived subject. Who is doing the liking? Well, that is todos mis amigos. Amigos is plural, so out of my indirect object pronouns, I select les. So the entire conjugation for the gustar verb is les gusta. So here's the information or all of the pieces that you need to correctly conjugate gustar verbs. The first thing you need to select is the indirect object pronoun, and remember, that's based on the perceived subject. Your choices are me, te, le, nos, os, les. Then you need to determine whether to use the singular or the plural conjugation of the verb. If the verb is like gustar and ends in ar, your options are a or an. But there are more than just ar gustar verbs. There's er and ir as well, and they have a singular and plural form, a or n. Now we choose these conjugation endings based upon the perceived direct object. What is being liked? What is found interesting? What is hurting? Below we have a bulleted list of all the verbs that function just like gustar. First, we have gustar, which means to like. Encantar follows the same pattern, and it means to love, but in terms of loving an object. Interesar, to interest. Doler, to ache or to hurt. And aburrir, to bore. Now it's worth noting that doler is a stem-changing verb. So in both the singular and the plural conjugations, the O will turn to UE. Let's see what you've learned. See you in class.